So, good morning. Clear enough? Okay, good. So, good morning, everyone. Let's take a moment to settle in our posture. We can remind ourselves of the very fortunate situation we have now with all the perfect conditions all together, inner and outer conditions all being present. So Geshe has asked us to reflect this morning on the 4 points of generating respect by remembering the kindness of our teachers. And this is still part of the how to rely on the virtuous friend as the root of the path. So maybe briefly you can connect with your body, this precious vehicle for this lifetime. Make yourself comfortable and become very present in this moment. Now we can gently settle our mind by counting the breath from 1 to 10 to strengthen our capacity for concentration. And as we know, by using the 2 mental factors of alertness and mindfulness, to notice if the mind gets distracted or if we start to become a bit drowsy. And the mindfulness gently brings us back. So for the next 2 minutes, counting the in-breath as 1, out-breath as 2, up to 10. Then from here we can visualize, feel or imagine the presence of Shakyamuni Buddha in the front. Seated on the throne, and on the throne had the lotus, sun and moon disk, as Geshe-la many times explained. Building up this visualization, all in the form of light. Very bright, very radiant. In the aspect of a fully ordained monk, wearing the saffron robes, with a very smiling, pleasing aspect. You take the aspect of your teacher, but in the nature of the Buddha. And then the Buddha is surrounded by the different lineage masters on either side, in the back and in the front. And around yourself, feel or imagine you being surrounded by countless sentient beings. You can start with the mother on your left side of this life, whether alive or not, and extending it with all other female manifestations in human aspect. And on your right side, the father of this life, whether alive or not, and all the male manifestations of all the different realms, but all in the human aspect, to be able to guide them. And all these sentient beings surrounding us are completely under the control of ignorance, of their afflictions, are constantly undergoing the different types of suffering. Like we do ourselves, but the difference is we have a method, we have ways to work with it. So we're so fortunate that the majority of all these other sentient beings have no way out. Because we're all so connected, we feel a deep sense of compassion, of a wish to help them in the best way possible and as quick as possible. So for this, we need to train our own minds in its fullest capacity, getting the realizations of the Lam-Rim and starting with the root of the path. So we ask the Buddha in front for help to guide us. The Buddha is very pleased, so from the Buddha's heart, a very strong white nectar rain flushes down on us and other sentient beings, entering us through the crown and completely removing all the physical, mental and other obstacles. Try to imagine this for like half a minute. Imagine now the body is completely filled with this white light and be convinced that all obstacles are removed, all pacified, leaving you with this clear lightness, purity of the body and the mind. So now the mind is completely ready and very receptive for the blessings of the Buddha in the form of yellow golden nectar light coming from the Buddha's heart, again entering it through the crown, filling us, nourishing us, energizing us. So now be convinced that the mind is completely ready, almost at the point of getting the full understanding and realization. At this point of the root of the path, by remembering the kindness, developing great respect. So this reflection has 4 parts, and the first point is the gurus or teachers are kinder than the Buddhas. We've never connected with the previous Buddhas. We didn't recognize them. In a way, we missed out. We didn't have the karma. But our current teachers are so kind in taking the ordinary aspect in which we can relate to. And our teacher is even kinder than Shakyamuni Buddha. Because also here we didn't have the karma to connect, to meet. to be guided. And the second point is the kindness of giving and explaining the teachings. This is so obvious. And not explaining the teachings just once, but over and over again. As our minds are so thick, so difficult to move. And you can see the teachers try in every way, in different forms, to teach us, to reach us, to guide us. Without the teachings, we would never have even heard about the mind and its potential, about karma, renunciation, bodhicitta, emptiness. We would not have the methods to work with our mind, from personal experience, how to eliminate the afflictions, we wouldn't understand how to open the heart to ourselves and to others. And not only teachings, but also giving transmissions, like this morning, giving initiations, sharing knowledge in so many ways, giving us practical and personal advice, giving us so many imprints in the stream of our mind. We can also think about all the places, like here at Nalanda, where these teachings are given, where we can study, where we find mind-like people. It's all thanks to the kindness of our teachers. So relate this to your own life. How different would it have been if you wouldn't have met the teacher, the teachings, places to practice, study, come together? And the third point is the kindness of blessing our mind stream. Blessing means, as Geshe explained yesterday, transforming the mind into something magnificent. And it helps us to make our mind more pure, see the purity of ourselves, the things around us. And this will increase and affect the power of the blessings. And as such, it can help us to increase our faith. And again, in turn, that increases the power of the blessings. Geshe mentioned the difference between the power of the blessings of seeing as holiness as an ordinary being or as a bodhisattva or Buddha. So how would it be if we could see all the statues in front of us as actually living Buddhas, bodhisattvas? And then the fourth point is the kindness of bringing us closer to the teacher, also through material assistance or other support. We can see many teachers like Rinpoche supporting financially places like Nalanda and other places, or supporting individuals to practice. But you might be able to relate this to yourself. The teacher making time for us. Giving us the opportunity to connect, to accumulate, to purify. And as we know, many teachers have this tendency to give little gifts. So reflecting on these kindnesses by being greater than the Buddhas because we've been hooked. Now we have the karma. The kindness of explaining the teachings for us, how to study, how to meditate, how to analyze, how to create the courses for happiness. And the kindness of blessing our mind stream, and the kindness of supporting us in so many other ways. So come to your own conclusion to generate respect through the kindness of the teacher. We can develop all the way up to enlightenment. Blessings can receive our mind, which really touches and softens our mind and heart, which in turn helps us to move more quickly. So focus for half a minute on your own conclusion. And then we'll make a strong prayer to the Buddha in front to always help us in developing our respect, to let our faith increase, and never forget the kindness. The Buddha is very pleased and comes to the crown, facing the same direction. And the image starts to dissolve from the bottom up, becoming very small and entering us through the crown, descending down to the throat, descending down to the level of the heart, dissolving into light, becoming completely one with our own mind. And then we can gather all the efforts together, created an enormous potential by coming together, engaging and practicing. Let's dedicate the merits to the two bodhicittas. O Jang Ju Sam Jo Rinpoche, Ma Ke Panam Ye Kyu Chi, Ye Panyam Pa Me Pa Yin, Go Ne Gondo Pelwa Sho, Toni Tawa Rinpoche, Ma Ke Panam Ye Kyu Chi, Ye Panyam Pa Me Pa Yang, Go Ne Gondo Pelwa Sho. We dedicate never to be separated from perfect gurus. In all my lives, never separated from perfect gurus. May I enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing the qualities of the stages and path. May I quickly attain the state of Vajradhara. And let's also dedicate for the very long and stable lives of all our teachers and of the fulfillment of all their projects, that they may all be realized exactly according to their wishes and without any obstacles. Okay, thank you. Enjoy breakfast.